Welcome back. This is video 4 of our series focusing on condition controlled iteration while loops. And in this one we're going to do something slightly different. We're going to gather in some values and we're going to add them to a list, and when we break out of the list, out of the while loop rather, the values within the list will be printed out. So a couple of slightly different techniques going on here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to create our list. We're going to call it scores, and it's an empty list, so it's just 2 square brackets. And we're going to have a control variable. We're going to call it marks in, and we're going to assign the value of 0 to it. Let's start to build our while loop. Now, as we know, while, okay, it's trying to finish it off for me. Of course, it's not quite right. So I've got while marks in is equal to 0. That'll kick us off because marks in is equal to 0 at the moment. And what I want to do is I don't want to actually enter a mark. Yeah, this is repel being smarter than it should be at the moment. So we're going to enter in marks equals int, because it's an exam score. I'm not going to have any half marks, so it's going to be a full value. Could put float in if you wanted, I suppose. So we're going to have an input, not an input, but an input. There we are, input. Enter a mark. Well, I'm going to sort of personalize that. Enter a student mark. There we go. Now we want to check it. So if marks are equal to 0, 0. Remember that from the previous one. Yeah, I'm going to use that as my control. So once I've finished entering in values, all I've got to do is type in 0, 0, and it will break out of the loop. So what I'm going to do is I want to break. Else, what I want to do is every time I loop around, is I want to, what's going on there? Is I want to add the marks. Yes, so if a student gets 75, that gets added to the list. Okay, so let's have a look at the syntax on that if you're not familiar with it. Scores, which is the name of the list. Append, or dot append, which means add to. And what do I'm going to add? I'm going to add the variable value, which is marks. Okay, and right at the end, outside of the loop, what I want to know is what are the scores within my class, for example, my GCSE class, shall we say. Let's run this and see what happens. So I'm going to select my code for, I'm going to enter a student mark. So let's say this student does really well and gets 83. And I want another one. This student not so good, gets 45. Another one gets 67. Another one gets, I don't know, let's say 84. Well done, that student. Okay, so very small class, brilliant. I've finished entering my marks. I want my program, my loop, to finish neatly. So I just enter in the control, which is 0, 0, and there we go. So I can see that I've got students with 83, 45, 67, and 84. There we go. Okay, so that was video 4. Thank you very much.